Good evening and welcome to our regular map talk. So my name is Heather King. I am originally from Zimbabwe, but currently based in the United Kingdom. So this map talk every Wednesday, same time. And today you are in for a treat because our founder, Glenn McQuirk, will be speaking about dream catching. So stay put, and just after this next clip, you'll see him.
Well, good evening. I'm really excited to be meeting with you this evening, and tonight is going to be all about the hallmarks of catching the right kind of dreams. And I don't know about you, but I'm excited about dreaming for the future. So many people are in a place of despair right now. They kind of have a sense that there is no hope for the future. But I want to tell you that the future couldn't be more exciting than right now. My theme this evening, although the title is Dream Catcher, my theme is Beyond Tomorrow. I want to look into the future, because you see, the future is created in the present. The very ideas, the very dreams that you and I have are the substance of the future, of the things that people are going to experience in a year, 10 years, a decade, a century, maybe 1,000 years from now. People are going to be living life differently because of the dreams that are ignited and which you take on for yourself. So I'm really excited about looking to the future, and I trust that you are ready to join me as we explore what it means to be a dream catcher. I'm going to use the letters of the word dream to share this message so that it is easy for you to share it with others. Because you see, when you share a message, it starts to sink into your heart. And once it's in your heart, your own. And I would encourage you to do just that. So the first letter in the word dream, it stands for dreams that are desirable. So what kind of dreams are desirable? Well, I'm sure that for many people, they are straight away thinking about a dream house, a dream holiday, a dream job. Goodness me, can anything like that ever exist, I wonder? Well, I'm not talking about those material kind of dreams that so many people think life is all about. I'm talking about the dreams that connect with the desires of your heart. You know, they kind of switch you on. When you see that dream, it awakens something inside of you. Those are the desirable dreams. Desirable dreams are ones that are about a societal change that you can bring about. You know, I know that you have had moments in your life when your heart has begun to beat faster. It's almost instantaneous. When you have, I remember when I was opening my filing cabinet one day. In fact, it was on the 19th of March, 1999, and it happened to be around about 9 a.m. in the morning. If I checked my watch, maybe it was 19 minutes past 9. But you know, that morning when I opened my filing cabinet and I began to go through the notes from seminars I had attended, something happened inside of me that morning. My heart jumped out of my chest. I knew if I have a need for a tool that can help me turn my deepest desires into reality, I was not the only one. Other people would also have a need for such a tool. And back in 1999, that was a desirable dream, which you and I and many people have been able to experience around the world. So the kind of dreams to catch are those that connect not with your head's desire, but with your heart's desire, the ones that make you awake. The next letter is the letter R. And I think the kind of dreams that you and I need to catch hold of and hold on tightly are ones that are relevant. And when I say relevant, I'm talking here about dreams that are aligned with your purpose. Dreams that are a perfect fit, like hand in glove. These kind of dreams are the ones that are relevant and need to be grabbed on with both hands. I think so many people today are pursuing dreams that are all about elevating themselves. The fancy car, the great house, the wonderful holidays, and all those things are really nice to enjoy. But we've got to answer the question, is that really why you were born? Or is there something greater? Is there something more relevant for you to be doing with your time and energy? So I think that you and I need to connect with dreams that are relevant. How do we know if a dream is desirable and relevant? Well, I think it will evoke an emotional response. So the letter E is the word emotion. Does it get you excited? Does it make you feel like that you've got something worthwhile to deliver? Does it make you feel like you, for the first time, have something that can make a purposeful difference in this world? Does it do something for your spirit? That's what I mean about having an emotional response. Just recently, I will witness somebody who connected with something that caused an emotional response. They learned of somebody who did not have any food. And in that moment, they recognized the absolute devastation that person was in, and they were able to meet that need. But you could see the emotion that came with that realization that they had the ability to meet that need and solve that person's dilemma. You see, when you have that kind of emotional response, connect to that dream. Some people can walk past a starving person eating a McDonald's burger and literally step over them and not even notice. Another person will see that same situation and put their life on hold. They will stop everything to help that individual. So the question is, what evokes an emotional response? Those are the dreams that you and I need to hug. We need to hold on to, grasp tightly, and never let go. I think the dreams that you and I need to connect with for the letter A are the ones that have a sense of adventure. Kind of stepping beyond the comfort zone, stepping into the unknown, moving like Star Trek where no one has gone before. I mean, who wants to do the same thing they did yesterday and the day before and the week before? So many people are living a life that has no adventure whatsoever. Aren't you tired of doing the same thing over and over and over? When you know in your heart that you're not going to see a better or different result. We have been through a 2-year period to prepare us to deliver the dreams that we were born to deliver. And the dreams that you and I were born to deliver are ones that have a sense of adventure. They awaken something within us. They are calling for us to step out of the comfort zone, to step out of the regulated environment, to go out there and begin to live a life that is free from other people telling us what to do. You and I were never born to control one another. We were born to complete one another, to work together for a greater good, where everyone is absolutely free. Seek dreams that have adventure. And then the last letter tonight is the obvious word for the letter M, which is meaning. Do or pursue dreams that are meaningful. When you do things that are meaningful, you can experience fulfillment in your life. No money, no title, no accolade can come close to giving you that sense of fulfillment that comes when you do something that has meaning and that makes a purposeful difference in the world in which you live. As we move into the future, I want you to remember that the present that we experience today was a dream that someone had in the past. So what we are seeing with our own eyes today is old news. It is something that somebody saw long before we did. And so your dream that you are having right now is a very real expression of the future that others will one day see. And I want to encourage you that tonight you begin to grab hold on tightly with tenacity, the dreams that are desirable, relevant, connect with you emotionally, that bring about a sense of adventure, and most importantly, are meaningful by nature. I've enjoyed this message, sharing it with you, and I trust that each and every one of you are inspired and ready to catch the next dream.
Wow, wasn't that exciting? Dreams. You know, when Glenn was speaking about dream catching, I was picturing my head like a fishing net, you know, when you put it into the water and you pick out some fish. So that's what I was going through my mind while Glenn was talking. Well, welcome. We're about to have a live panel and we're going to discuss some of the topics that Glenn brought up during his talk. So don't forget, dreams. They must be desirable, relevant, they must have some emotion connected to them. They must be adventurous and they must be meaningful. So welcome to our panel. We have Amelia, Donna, and Terence. Welcome. What I'd like you all to do is to just introduce yourselves and just very briefly talk about how you became connected with Map Talk. We'll start with Amelia and then go to Donna and then Terence.
Hi, everybody. That was an absolutely awesome talk. And it reminded me of when I got involved with Map for Life. I had a very big dream at that time. I left the corporate environment in a way to start my own business. I say in a way because I was still working with corporates. And I started a recruiting company and HR consulting. And two of my friends gave me a map for life as a gift in order for me to plan my business and to use the tool. I started using the tool at the time, and it is absolutely awesome. I have been using it for many, many years, and I love sharing the tool with people, and I love seeing the difference that it makes for people.
And it does. Donna?
Hi everyone. So I got hold of my first Map for Life in 2013, and it took me all of 2012 to get to being able to get my first Map for Life. And I actually got a hold of it or got introduced to it by the partner here in Zimbabwe. And I was just like, this is such a phenomenal tool and it's life changing. And from 2013 to date, I've relied on Map for Life to help me realize so many of my dreams.
An excellent tool it is. Terence?
Hi, my name is Terence Ogle. I'm an accredited Map for Life coach and trainer. I was introduced to Map for Life in 2004 or 2005 when I was coached for a while by Glenn McQuirk, the founder of Map for Life. In 2013, I did a mastery course, and I've never looked back since. It gives me such joy to actually share the Map for Life methodology with others, and to see the transformation that it has in others' lives. So yeah, I'm really excited about the future, and what Map for Life can and will do.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it is
Heather.
a tool that actually transforms people's lives. Now, Glenn said dreams ignited today become your future. It took me way back when I was a child, Christmas Eve. You're sleeping and you're excited because what's happening the next day? You're going to get these gifts, and you're hoping and you're believing that what you're getting is what you wrote to Father Christmas for. And your heart is pounding. You cannot sleep, and you keep on trying to get down to peak because you want to catch Father Christmas putting the gift under the tree. So, what dream really gets you excited and gets your heart pumping and keeps you up at night, Terence? Which dream has really got you going?
Yeah, I think, Heather, for me, it's all about linking to my purpose, as Glenn said, and it's all about transforming lives. There's nothing for me that's more satisfying than seeing transformed lives out there. So for me, that's the dream, to see a world that is changed. And I do realize that one cannot change the entire world, but I use the philosophy of just change one at a time. That will do.
Absolutely.
So for my dream, I do have personal dreams, but for me, really, my main focus and dream is to see transformed lives in wherever I'm actually involved.
And Amelia, anything keeping you up at night? Your dream, the one that's really occupying your mind all the time?
Yes, definitely, Heather. I am on purpose to help people be the best version of themselves. My focus is mainly on health and wellness, but as you know, with Map for Life, we look at all 8 areas, and we are such unique individuals with all the different areas that basically have an influence on our life, that you cannot actually help somebody if you don't focus on all 8 areas. And things are so interlinked. So yes, my focus absolutely on health, wellness, body transformation, but I love just seeing people transforming their lives, whatever that entails.
Yeah, we are all interlinked, isn't it? And it's just one dream can actually affect the whole person. Donna, what about you? What dream is exciting you right now?
I think it's more to do with legacy building at the moment. So I think once you first realize that you can achieve anything you set your mind to do, you start to visualize a holistic picture. So now that you're getting each of the 8 steps up and you're building bit by bit, you start to think, okay, what has Donna Ray's legacy got to do with it? What do I want to be known for when I'm no longer on this earth? What do I want to be remembered for? I think that's what keeps me alive daily. Like, what legacy am I going to leave behind one day?
Sounds like that really, makes you wake up every morning because you know what your purpose is. So you, all three of you, know what your purpose is. Now, assuming somebody doesn't know what their purpose is, should they still dream, Donna?
100%. I mean, I discovered my purpose in the middle of doing it. So I didn't realize I was called to talk until I was doing a leadership seminar, and I literally felt the hairs on my back raise. And the fulfillment and the high I got just from interacting with people and getting them to hear me and receive what I was saying was almost magical. So I think as long as you're out there and you're putting yourself out in different scenarios, you will stumble across it. And the only way you can is by dreaming of a better future, a better life for yourself, or how you can change one person's life. That might lead you to your purpose.
Okay, Terence, do you think you should still dream if you don't know your purpose? I mean, Donna's come up with some fantastic points, putting yourself out there. But
Yeah,
that's more acting. That's not dreaming. So should you still dream?
Heather, I've got a view. In fact, just as we've been discussing dreams and dreaming, that dreaming is actually something that comes naturally. I think it comes naturally to all of us. Okay, it's the ability to take that which comes natural and formulate it in some way in one's mind. So for me, absolutely, we're dreaming all the time, and unfortunately, what happens is a lot of these dreams are just dreams. They're not focused on. So the dreams are there, but they're almost dormant. Okay. So absolutely, to answer your question, I do believe that we should dream, and I in fact believe two things. One, that dreams are innate in us. It's something that we're born with, but we need to then, take explore those dreams and not leave them dormant. It's there's that saying about the graveyard, that graveyards
Mhm.
are full of dreams that are unfulfilled. And I believe the reason why they're unfulfilled is because they're just not explored. And a tool like Map for Life, in my view, helps people explore their dreams.
Yeah,
So,
so we can actually knit, Terence. We could actually knit what you're saying to what Donna Ray is saying. So if we're
yeah,
dreaming innately and we're
yeah,
putting our tippy toes into the water and
yeah,
we're testing out various environments, so we're actually doing what Donna Ray is saying by putting ourselves out there and
yeah.
actually doing something about those dreams. Amelia, what do you think about dreaming? I've lost Amelia. Never mind. Marv, the Amelia's back. Great. What do you think about dreaming?
There you go. Sorry, guys, the internet is just a bit unstable on this side. Yeah, definitely dreaming is very, very important. It is part of us. We are born with it. And I think, unfortunately, our programming often teaches us to stop dreaming. As we grow up and we become adults, we stop dreaming and we lose all our dreams. Now, what I love about Map for Life is you don't just dream and dream and dream and dream forever, but Map for Life actually helps you to take that dream and link it to action and actually fulfill that dream. And that is, at the end of the day, what it's all about. The dreaming is important, but very important to also fulfill it.
Yeah, so we're dreaming and we it's relevant, it's aligned with our purpose. Now we've got to find the emotion that goes with it. Because we can dream and it can be relevant and we can say, right, I'm gonna change the world. Yes, I'm definitely gonna change the world. Who's with me? Nobody really, because they're thinking, well, does she mean what she says? So you've got to get that emotion going with it. Okay. Glenn was talking about emotional response. Now, if I'm dreaming about a house, and I can tell you everything that I want in my new house. I'm getting excited about it. I'm getting emotional about it because I want a big kitchen. I want to cook. I want to do all these things. But how do you get that's all material stuff, all right? But that's not the kind of dreams that we need to focus on and get emotional about. So how do you get emotional about a dream that's not realistic? How do you get excited about maybe connecting water for people who don't have water? Donna, what do you think?
I think a dream will ignite passion. So we can't have one without the other, unfortunately. But things that aren't easy or untangible are things that will probably move you the most emotionally, because you're thinking, okay, um, and then that becomes the driving force. And then, okay, if I change this person's situation, what does that lead to? And then you start building a ball of fire from within to say, okay, if I change this person's life, and it becomes a domino effect, and then by doing one thing, I've changed the whole community. Then you realize that sometimes the dreams that you have may be small, and then they just grow. They ignite into a huge fire.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because I can get so excited about my house. But when I'm changing lives and I'm providing for people, like you're saying, the excitement it's a legacy, the word you use. It's something that's going to last forever. Um,
For sure.
so the next thing that Glenn spoke about was your dream should be adventure. But so many of us are so comfortable in mediocrity. Terence, why? Why should we do something different? I'm happy the way I am. I'm in my lane. I'm in my rut. Why should I do something different?
It's because again, I go back to that's what we were created for. We weren't created as selfish beings. We were created as people who need to go out there and love thy neighbor as thyself, as the good book says. So, you know, I think what no man has done before, as Glenn said, we need to step out of our comfort zones. It's not the norm in our society to do that type of thing. Again, what Donna said, it needs to be with passion, and it needs to be something, as that Glenn said, that comes from the heart. And I think, an adventure perspective, if it comes from the heart and if it comes from an understanding of legacy, again, as has been mentioned, and comes from an understanding of what we actually are here on this earth for. Okay. And I believe if we really get down to those deep questions, we are not here on this earth for a selfish purpose. We are a collective. We are here to help each other. I think Glenn said, I don't know exactly what he said, but we are so connected. Unfortunately, the way of the world is it's all about me, myself, and I, and if I win, then it's fine. But that's not the natural way. I don't believe that that's the way we're connected. So the adventure, I believe, would come hither when we realize, the impact that we're having, and the legacy that we're leaving behind.
Okay, so what about people who are stuck on the hamster wheel? Marvin, some of us just going round and round and round. Two questions for you. Will adventure free you? And can you possibly stumble across adventure? Because if I'm just on my hamster wheel, sometimes I don't know there's something better out there. Sometimes my dreams are so limited. What do you think, Marvin?
Thanks, Heather. The more you're talking about this and the more I'm listening to everybody's response, the more I just think about the book by John Mason called An Enemy Called Average. I don't know if anyone's read it before. But I just pulled up a couple of quotes that, because I've read it about 3-4 times. There's one specific quote that just kind of talks to that. He says, it's always better to fail in doing something than excel at doing nothing. And I think it's important for us to be busy with something than to sit around and wait. Now, doing the same old is not necessarily the right way to be busy, but rather I think it's important to find somebody that you can share some of the stuff you're busy with. They can also then hold you accountable to specific actions that you'd want to take to make that change, to make the difference. Because it's easy to be in that place of mediocrity. It's easy to just kind of sit back and wait for life to happen, sit back and just kind of go with the rest. And I think the tough part is swimming upstream when everybody's okay with doing whatever, and you're the odd one that wants to go against that and actually make a difference and actually make a significant difference. So I think,
Marvin, what would you say to me? I'm average. I don't want to stand out. I've got that fear of standing out. I don't want to be in the limelight. I don't want to be under a microscope. What would you say to a person who's feeling like that?
I think somebody that's feeling that fear, for me, I would want to kind of delve into that and just understand why. Because for me, it makes sense that you obviously not you haven't got your heart tied into this. If your heart is really tied into this, then you will do whatever it takes to make it happen. Standing back and waiting for someone else to do it, or standing behind somebody else, or operating in someone else's shadow, is also not the way to do it. I believe we get given certain visions to see for us to fulfill, not visions for other people. God allows us to dream certain things for us to do and to make happen, not for other people to make happen. It's interesting, if you walk along the road, I'm going to use a biblical principle. Biblical principle that we all have heard of is knock and the door shall be open, seek and you'll find, ask and you'll be given. But if you don't start with that action of knocking, the action of seeking, or the action of doing something, you're not going to get to that next step. You're not going to overcome the fear, firstly. Secondly, you're not going to know what else is out there. You're not going to know the amount of potential that you have from a purpose perspective that God has placed inside of you. It's easy to just sit back and wait and hope somebody else does it. But it's kind of like Jonah. If you're not the one that's going to do it, you're going to have to be chucked overboard to get that wake-up call, and then take action, because it's still your dream. It's still your vision. It's still your purpose that you've been placed on this earth to fulfill.
Absolutely.
It's really also interesting that when you out in the market looking for a car, and you find a specific car, that you've settled on the specific car, call it a Mercedes C200 or whatever the case may be. The minute you've decided that's the car that you want to buy, your eyes immediately go open to recognizing how many Mercedes C200s they are driving next to you in the parking lot, coming down the road on the other lane. Just because you made the decision to look for this thing, seek and you'll find. The minute you made that decision to seek, your eyes go open, and immediately it's like your senses become alert to that thing you're looking for.
So your awareness is increased. So Glenn was talking about our dreams being meaningful, right? So you've all got dreams. Tell me one meaningful action you have taken today that's going to bring you closer to your dream. Donna Ray, what do you think? What one action have you done today?
So 10 years ago, I started a blog detailing my life story called The Making of a Diamond. And that blog's going to become a book in 7 short years now. And that will launch my speaking career. And that's just one of my greatest dreams. So like I said, my passion is speaking. So creating a foundation for me to actually have an audience that I can speak to in 7 or so years has been a dream that I've had to work towards on a daily, monthly, and annual basis for the last 10 years and another 7 years to go.
So every day counts as we work towards fulfilling our dreams. Terence, what meaningful action did you take today?
So Heather, I don't know if you're aware, I am an avid lawn bowls player. And Wednesday mornings is one of my bowling days. And this morning, I was out in a little dorpie outside of Johannesburg, and I met a lot of new people. So I deliberately connected with a few at a level that I wouldn't normally connect. And I believe that just in terms of transforming lives again, just connecting at a meaningful level with somebody or with a few people, which I did do this morning, is a step closer to more deeper transformation and potential of me impacting others' lives. So I combine that with my love for sport, bowls in particular.
You're fulfilling 2 dreams at the same time.
Dreams,
Sounds great.
Bowling is my pastime. Yeah, but
Marvin, what meaningful action did you take today that's going to bring you closer to your dream?
I had a face-to-face meeting with a young up-and-coming business person who needed some guidance just in terms of some of the things that she's getting involved in. And I think that whole exercise, we spent an hour just kind of mapping out what she's busy with, where she's heading, mapping out the thing that she's busy with. And it just was a good reminder for me to make sure I'm firstly being true to myself, secondly being authentic, thirdly planning out everything that I need to do, because the focus of the discussion was really around her planning it out, writing stuff down and actually looking at it. We looked at the weekly action plan in MAP that you get, and I showed her kind of how this thing needs to look and how you need to plan your week, plan your month, and look at what you're doing daily, so that, and ask yourself, is what you're doing getting you closer to your goal for the month and for the week? And just kind of doing this with her was a good wake-up call again for me to make sure that you're busy with your own. You can't practice and not preach the same thing.
Absolutely.
So you can't preach the thing and not practice the thing. That's what I meant to say.
And that's what a lot of people do. So what I'm hearing from the panel and what we heard from Glenn is that we've got to have dreams, okay, because they ignite our future, and the type of dream is very significant. They've got to be relevant. We've got to be emotionally involved in it. It's got to be adventurous, and it's got to be meaningful. So it brings me to think that the choices we make every moment actually affect our future. All right. So how do these choices affect our future, Donna Ray?
Well, I mean, it was a choice to be here today. It's a choice for me to be speaking right now because this is my passion. And taking the steps that led me to meet all of yous and to work with you and to become a Map for Life trainer, to improve my speaking. You see, these are all choices I've made that I know are stepping stones to help me get to my goal.
And they are fantastic. Terence, how do choices affect our future?
Look, Heather, they can affect them either positively or negatively, and one has to sort of apply a test to whatever decision one's making. Does it align to my purpose? Does it align to my dreams? Does it align to my values? And again, this is where Map for Life can help us have those, as Marvin said, clearly identified and documented. So for me, it's a test. Does it align to my purpose? If it doesn't, then effectively I'm wasting my time doing whatever, or the decision that I'm making is likely to lead me. It might not be wrong, but it's leading me away from my purpose. So you could have a decision that sort of makes sense, but leads you away from you. And if one has that test to say, does it align to my purpose? Is it taking me a step closer to my end goal, my end dreams? If the answer is yes, then yeah, that's a test I apply to my life, actually.
And Marvin, if I'm a person who's made bad choices, I'm watching this now on YouTube and I'm thinking, I need to change my choices. I need to start dreaming better. What advice would you give me?
Heather, I would say to everybody that's watching now that we are the captain of our ships. We are in control of our lives. We can't control what happens to us. When life hits, life hits. But what we can control is our response to that. And in controlling your response, you can choose to either accept or you can choose to make a change. You can choose to do nothing, which is kind of also accepting. But all three of those is an option that you have. And knowing that you have the choice to make a difference, to make a change, and that it's in your hands is a hard reality, because it's one thing that people will want to shy away from. They would rather want to pass the blame. If something was a bad choice, it was somebody else's fault, not accepting our own responsibility for our own mistakes. So I think start off by firstly accepting if you made a mistake, it's okay. If you failed, John C. Maxwell speaks about failing forward. So fail forward, get up and keep going. Don't stop. The minute you stop, that's the start of you dying, literally.
True.
Every one of us has the potential to make a difference in our own lives. And the choice lies in our hands. It's literally starts with a decision to want to make a difference, to want to change, to want to do things differently. And the power is in our hands. The power is in your hands. Don't give it to
is.
somebody else. If you're not building your vision, you're building somebody else's vision.
Well,
Choose
thank
what
you
vision you want
all.
to build.
Thank you all for being on the panel tonight. It's been so exciting. And in closing, I'm just going to read the last verse of that poem that you mentioned, Marvin, by William Ernest Henley. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Go out and dream.